Once in the past in New Zealand, there was a destructive wall of water that damaged or destroyed numerous coastal settlements and boats. As a tall tsunami struck much of the North Island, areas up to a kilometer inland were inundated with water, causing significant destruction. And yet, this tsunami was not caused by a major earthquake, but rather a distant volcanic eruption. While what I am describing might sound initially like the climactic Caldera Formation eruption from Tonga's Tonga-Hunga Ha'apai volcano on January 15, 2022, this is not the case. And no, this ancient tsunami was not from an earlier Caldera Formation eruption of the same volcano theorized to have occurred around 1100 CE. As, while Tonga-Hunga Ha'apai, or at least the remnants of that volcano, is 1936 kilometers away from one shoreline on New Zealand's Doubtless Bay, the source of the separate tsunami we are talking about was a volcano about 4 times closer at 514 kilometers distant. As, sometime in the early 15th century, a large section of a deep and out-of-sight volcano known as the Healy Seamount collapsed into a caldera, causing a widespread tsunami to be generated. This tsunami had at least a height of 4 meters or 13 feet, likely triple this height in select areas where the near coastal topography below sea level was just right. It would go on to hit the entire northern coastline of New Zealand's North Island and even parts of the South Island. According to the Maori, this wiped out several communities, including the entirety of a town on D'Urville Island. Then, over the next several days to weeks, a massive raft of floating pumice inundated regional coastlines, causing billions of tons of pumice to accumulate across regional islands such as White Island, but also the North Island and even Chatham Island. Today, this pumice deposit serves as an important marker on the North Island, being altogether known as the Loisel's pumice. According to some scientists, the destruction created by this event, which might have involved multiple tsunami waves, was so severe that it may have triggered a mass migration of the native Maori, where they as a whole moved further inland. The Loisel's pumice, somewhat like the 2022 Tonga-Hunga Ha'apai volcano tsunami, was generated by a primarily submarine volcano losing more than 1,000 feet in height, leaving a massive 4-kilometer wide and 140 meter or 460 foot deep depression in the ground known as a caldera. While the climactic eruption of Tonga left behind a caldera of almost the same dimensions, that eruption occurred at shallower depths of near sea level, eventually resulting in the reduction in height of one section of that volcano by 750 meters or 2,460 feet. In the case of the Healy Seamount, its eruption circa 1415 occurred out of sight and out of mind at a depth of 500 meters or 1,640 feet below sea level, meaning that no one at the time would have known a catastrophic event was ongoing until it was too late. As what used to be a tall submarine volcanic cone completely collapsed, losing 1,144 meters or 3,753 feet in height. The eruption in question had a dacite to rhyolite composition, suggesting a magma mixing event may have triggered this eruption, ejecting a total of 12.5 cubic kilometers of tephra in an eruption assigned a volcanic explosivity index of a 6. While the Healy Seamount has not produced a large eruption since its caldera forming event, this still active volcano can teach us an important lesson. As, although the scale of destruction it created was unusually large, in all likelihood the volcanic tsunami it generated was not an isolated event in the context of regional volcanoes. As 2 other caldera-forming eruptions occurred in New Zealand's Kermadec Island chain during the Holocene period, both of which presumably also created large-scale tsunamis. This occurred at Macaulay Island via a 100 cubic kilometer eruption in 5264 BCE and at the Raoul volcano in 193 BCE via a 28.8 cubic kilometer eruption. What I am trying to prove via this video is that we need to monitor and learn more about submarine volcanoes, as although they are out of sight and out of mind and hard to access, they can sometimes be just as destructive as a famously deadly land volcano. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel member Cynthia Lynch for supporting this channel.